From the PEP Radio Newsroom, this is part 2 of the news about the SAVE Act. Most people registering to vote would have to present either a valid U.S. passport or driver's license and birth certificate in person at an elections office, including people who vote by mail. Advocacy groups oppose the legislation that say that the bill would crush voter registration efforts ahead of this year's elections. The bill would create new penalties for election officials who register applicants who have not presented documentary proof of citizenship. Opponents say that provision could potentially scare workers into turning away valid applicants, while also discouraging people from working or volunteering at polling locations. It would also allow private individuals to sue election officials in some circumstances. While federal law requires that voters are U.S. citizens, there is currently no nationwide requirement the voters must show identification when they go to vote. Currently, 36 states have voter identification laws in place, some stricter than others, according to the National Conference of State Legislatures. The bill would require voters in all states to present valid identification, and those voting by mail would have to send a photocopy. Overseas military and some qualified disabled individuals would be exempt from those rules, but those are very, very limited cases. Republican supporters most frequently highlight this section of the bill when pushing for its passage. Thune said last week that if you have to show an ID to get a library card, it's not too much to ask voters to show ID in federal elections. Except to get a voter ID or to get a library card, one only needs show a state ID, not a driver's license, and it certainly doesn't have to be a real ID, just something issued by the state. That's a lot more complex than getting a passport and a birth certificate. The legislation would require states to share voters' information with the Department of Homeland Security as a way to verify the citizenship of the names on the voter rolls, giving the federal government unprecedented access to state voter data. Many states are already embroiled in legal fights with the Trump administration over demands that they provide voter information. Supporters of the state-federal sharing say that it would enable DHS to compare the state information with their own databases that are used to verify immigration status. But Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer predicted that handing over names to the federal government would allow DHS to purge voter rolls by tens of millions of people. There is more to this story along with commentary. Stick around for part 3 in a moment. From the PEP Radio Newsroom, I'm David Moore.